Good evening and welcome to Netzach Yisrael's daily Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Today we're going to be continuing Siman Mem Beis, Hilchos Suda, the laws about having meals. And we're continuing from Seif Yud. Seif Yud, Im tzorech la'asos eza refuah b'pas, al b'shar davar ma'achal. If a person needs to use bread for medicinal purposes, presumably in some form of poultice or penicillin, or any other kind of food for medical purposes, even if the food is going to become spoiled by using it as medicine, mutar, it's still permitted to use it. Sif Yud Aleph, Yizachem al b'feruin shalom yizrakem. One should be very careful not to throw out crumbs from bread, because this can bring about poverty. But instead he should gather them together and give them to birds. Sif Yud Beis, Hashosem Mayim, la yishta b'fnei rabim. Someone who's drinking water shouldn't drink directly in front of other people. But he should turn his face to the side. But with other types of drinks, he doesn't need to turn his face. Sif Yud Gimel, we shouldn't look at the face of someone who's eating or drinking, nor at you shouldn't look at a portion that's in front of the person, so that he doesn't embarrass him. Sif Yud Daled, any food or drink that is brought before someone which has a nice smell, and it's an appetizing food for the person, he should immediately give a small amount of the food. He should immediately give a small amount of the food to the waiter, to the server who's brought in the food. Because it is damaging to a person to see in front of him a food that he's desirous of, that he wants to eat, and then he's not able to eat any of it. So we should give some to the waiter as well. Sif Tesvav. A person shouldn't give food to someone unless he knows about that person that he's going to do Netilas Yadayim and make a bracha over the food. Presumably Netilas Yadayim in that instance only applies if he's giving him bread, but the bracha would apply in any case. Sifteh Zayin, Isha she'ein bala ima, ein alishtas yayin. A woman whose husband is not with her shouldn't drink wine if her husband's not there. Then and if she's in another place, if she's not at home, even if her husband is with her, she's forbidden to drink wine. And it's the same halacha for other alcoholic drinks. But if she is accustomed to drink wine when her husband is present, then she is permitted to drink a bit of wine even when her husband isn't there. Sif Yud Zayin, it's forbidden for guests to take any of the food that's in front of them to give it to the son or daughter of the balabas of their host. Because perhaps the balabayas, the master, the host of the house, doesn't have any more food than what he's actually put in front of them already. And then he'll be embarrassed that they don't have enough food for themselves because they've already given some to the son or daughter. But if there is lots of prepared food already on the table, mutar, then it is permitted to give some to the son or daughter of the host. Sif Yud Ches, Hanichnas Levayis, someone who comes into his host's house, he shouldn't immediately say, "Give me something to eat." Until they say, they themselves say to him that they're offering him food. It's forbidden to eat from a meal which is not going to be enough even for the hosts. Because this is considered the dust of theft, a shadow of theft. Even though the host invites him to eat with him, it's still forbidden. It's a great sin, and it's one of the things which is very difficult to do teshuvah for, to attain repentance. It's forbidden to leave his place at the table before making the brachos of Birkas Hamazon. And even to go in the middle of the meal into another room to finish his meal there. Or if he goes into another room with the intention even to come back after that to the first place where he was eating to finish eating his meal. And even going only outside his door with the intention of coming back to finish the meal, he should be careful of doing such a thing. If he transgressed this and he did go out, whether he finishes his meal in the new place where he is, or whether he returns to the original place to finish his meal, he doesn't need to make another bracha of hamatzi. Because since he fixed his meal, he established his meal as being a meal on bread, even though he then changed the place of his meal, nevertheless, the whole thing is considered one meal. Only he should be careful to eat at least a kazayas, an olive's worth of bread, in the place where he ends up making Birkas Hamazon. But with other foods, non-bread foods, it's not the case. In other words, he does have to make a new bracha rishona before he eats food, and he brings from an earlier siman that even if he walks into another room holding the same piece of food that he made the original bracha on, he needs to make another bracha in the second room. If they're eating together in a group and some of the group leave with the intention to return to the third place, even since there's left even just one of them in the original place, the establishing of the meal is not nullified, and so it's still as if they're all still there. So when they come back to where the meal was established, they can return and they can carry on the meal. It's not considered a break in the meal, and they can make Birkas Hamazon in the same place. Sivkat Aleph. If when he made the bracha of Hamotzi, he had in mind that he was going to go afterwards to another house to finish his meal there and to make Birkas Hamazon there, then the custom is that that's permitted. We allow him to do that. But he should be careful to eat also there in the place that he goes to, at very least a kazayas of bread. And also he shouldn't do this at all except at a time of need where it's for a sudas mitzvah, where he's going to join a sudas mitzvah at the second place. Sivkaf Beis, if he needs to daven in the middle of the meal, when he comes back to finish eating, he doesn't need to make another bracha of hamatzi. And also if he has a sleep if he goes to sleep in the middle of the meal just for a nap, even though it goes on for a little bit of time, it's not considered a pause in the meal. And similarly, if he made a break in the meal for other permissible matters, for example, if he needed to go to the toilet or similar matters, then this isn't considered a hefsek as far as making brachos goes. It's considered all one meal. Nevertheless, in all of these instances, he does need to wash his hands again, because he has removed his attention from the meal. Unless he was careful with his hands not to touch anything tummy, not to touch any part of his body that might be tummy. In that case, he doesn't need until Yadayim again. But in any case, he shouldn't make a bracha on washing his hands. Because just because he took his mind off his hands, so he had to wash them again, that doesn't mean that he has to make another bracha on the tila. He shouldn't make another bracha on washing his hands. When he finishes his meal and he has in mind he's now going to make birkas hamazon, if he then changes his mind and he decides he wants to eat something more, he wants to drink something more, there are many different sections of halachas as far as which bracha should be made, which bracha shouldn't be made. Therefore, it's advisable to refrain from doing this. So instead, as soon as he makes up his mind that he's finished eating and he's going to make birkas hamazon, he should do so. He should make birkas hamazon, and then he's not going to get into these difficult situations of knowing which bracha should be made and which shouldn't be made. Thank you. Good evening.